Hi everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day like I say in all my videos. I'm not responsible if anybody gets hurt. It's just my opinion um, and entertainment purposes. Today I'm going to talk. Someone asked me about to do a reading on Johnny Depp, and I said, why not? Because I like him as an actor. He was born June 9th, 1963, and he's 62. He's been married. He was born in Kentucky. He's been married twice. He was born to Lou Ann Alson in 1983 to 86, and Amber Heard from 2015 to 2007, and he has two children. He's 5'10", and he's been in a lot of movies. He was in the first movie I ever saw he was in was Nightmare on Elm Street, and he was also in the trivia is he was in 24 Jump Street. There was one of his first television shows that I saw was 24 Jump Street when he was in it before he became a movie star and breakout star. And he also, I don't watch them, but a lot of people like Caribbean movies. Pirates of the Caribbean, they're okay. And he was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, so the original one based from the book, and he's been in a lot of other ones. He's been in a lot of movies. So, can you please tell me about? I always do people's childhoods up to their, So please tell me about his childhood. Did he get along good with his mother, his family, his siblings? Please tell me. These are the regular tarot cards. I do tarot and oracle cards, so I use different cards for different readings. So please tell me about his childhood. Two cards wanted to flip out. Pass. I'll do four. He had some happiness in his early childhood. He was good in school. He wanted to do. He was good in school, and he was satisfied when he was a little kid. And he was confident that he would do great things as a little kid. And he was very protective of his siblings and his family. This is the Queen of Pentacles. That's the mother card. So he was very down to earth in finances. People can come to him if there was a problem, and he was very social person and grateful for what he had when he was a kid. He had anxiety and felt overwhelmed about his family and how his family was betrayed, and he didn't trust his family very much. Like they might have had hidden problems that he didn't want the things to come out in his family. He was a very stubborn person. He didn't like to compromise very much, and he didn't trust his family, like I said, because they did things that he didn't agree with. Like his parents might have fought and didn't get along very well. And there were delays because he wanted to be an actor. And a lot of his family said, oh, no, don't you be an actor because it's not going to work out. And he lacked a foresight. Wasn't sure if he wanted to be an actor. And his father was not very protective of his career and wasn't very supportive of his career, and he felt like he was a failure. His father was very negative about his life and saying you're not worth everything. So his father was not very nice to him. I feel like his father. I'm going to ask that. Was his father and him didn't have a good relationship? Did he and his father have a terrible relationship, and it really sucked? Please tell me, did he have a bad relationship with his father and his mother? We'll go for his father first. Did he have a really terrible relationship with his father? And then I'll ask his mother. Did he have a terrible relationship with his father? I'll do 3 cards. There was disharmony in the family. They didn't get along. They fought. He wanted to do things his way, and his father was very aggressive. And there was no teamwork in the family unit. He felt like he had to do a lot of things that he didn't want to do. And there was conflict, group conflict. There was always a fight in the family tree. He probably wanted to hide and didn't like the family fighting. His father fought with the mother and fought with them. There was fighting all the time in his household when he was growing up. Yeah, like I said, there was lack of teamwork. They didn't want to work together as a family. I think his parents fought constantly and didn't want to be a team player. Like, they wanted to be the one in charge. The father wanted to be the charge, and the mother didn't want that. She wanted to be the one in charge, so they fought. He felt like there was a lot of negativity in his family, like everybody wanted their own way, and he just hid, and I think he didn't like that. And he wanted to release the pain, and by talking to his siblings and tell them he's tired of his family fighting all the time and being in pain. And he tried to recover from it because he probably had post-traumatic stress disorder because his parents were fighting. His father fought with his mother and him and his siblings, and he was tired of all the fighting. He wanted to move on and he wanted to forgive his father. He tried to forgive. He wanted to forgive his father in the relationship because he was very aggressive with him, maybe abusive, and yeah, he didn't have a good relationship. He thought his father was very emotional and pure. He was very disappointed on his father, the way he was being treated, and he had new ideas, and he tried to block a relationship with his father. When he got older, he didn't want a relationship with his father, so he blocked having a relationship with his father. He didn't really want a relationship with his father. He probably cut him out of his life because of the abuse. So he didn't have a good relationship with his father at all. It sucked, basically. All right, now I'll ask, how was his relationship with his mother? You know, his father's relationship sucked. How did his real relationship with his mother? Oh, this came out backwards. I'm gonna do this because this came back. These are interesting cards, so I'm gonna do one of them, 2 of them that came because that calling me. All right. 2 of them came out, so. All right. Please tell me how 2 of the cards came out, so that it was telling me something. Please tell me how his relationship was with his mother. I'll do 4. All right. He thought he wanted harmony with his mother. He wanted to get along and have patience, and he sacrificed his needs to help her when he was a little kid. He thought it couldn't get any worse because they had a real problem with him and his mother. He couldn't get any worse. He thought, the fighting with his mother, and he didn't want it to get worse. And he wanted to recover from the relationship because he thought she wasn't a good mother. I feel like he thought she wasn't a good mother, and he was resentful of how she treated him and his other siblings. And he wanted it to end. He didn't want it to continue. He was tired of all the fighting. He wanted it to end, the fighting. So and he was planning to. He probably wanted to move out, but before he was 16, he probably would want to move out and get his own place. He probably wanted to do what's that? Emancipate himself, like you know how a lot of people in the industry try to be their own emancipate, like I think sometime I'll do one of Drew Barrymore. She emancipated herself about being her own guardian. I think he wanted to be his own guardian because he didn't like the way his mother treated him, and the father. In this case, I'm doing so. He planned on making his own decisions. I think he wanted to emancipate himself because he didn't like the way his mother was, and he had travel plans, like he wanted to move out and move into his own crib, into his own apartment, and plan his own life. And he had to recover and leave his home. He wanted to leave the home at a young age because of the fighting and disagreements. And things were going to change. He wanted it to be better. And he's a compassion person. He doesn't like all the fighting, and he wanted to protect his siblings. And he didn't like, and he didn't want to be, he wanted to maintain control of his life, not his mother, who was probably very controlling. And he was defensive. He wanted to be he was defensive in the sense of that he wanted to be the one in control. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight, so he didn't get along with his mother either. So he wanted to move out young. He probably would want to emancipate himself. He wanted to, do that. I don't know if it was big when he was growing up, emancipating himself, because he didn't get along with his mother and father, so he didn't have a good relationship. All right, so I'm going to ask, how did he get along? I'm going to ask, how did he get along with his siblings? How did Johnny Depp get along with his siblings? If he had any. Please tell me, how did he get along with his siblings? I'll do 4 cards. There were arguments. Now, there's always arguments with brothers and sisters and whoever. And there were competitions for the attention of the parents. And there were tensions, disagreement, challenge. One person wanted their way. It's normal. He also thought that his siblings were selfish and only thought of themselves. He thought they could be greedy. He wanted to be happy with them. He wanted to get along with his siblings. He didn't like the fighting with his siblings. He felt sad when they fought. He was a very, emotional person. You see Johnny Depp, he's a very quiet person. He's an introvert. So he was sad, and he didn't like to fight. He felt like it was a failure. And he didn't want to fight with his siblings. He was courage, and he tried to get along and strength with his siblings. He wanted to get along with them. And he set boundaries, saying, don't do this to me. I'm not going to put up with it, though. He was a very sensitive person, but he set boundaries on his siblings, saying, don't do this to me. Like, if they were picking a fight, he would say, knock it off. I'm not going to put up with that. He might have been soft-spoken, or you see him as soft-spoken, but he doesn't take crap, He says, leave me alone. And he tested his faith and his thoughts, like, oh, God, I'm tired of the fighting with his family. He wanted to get along, and he set boundaries, like, say, stop this to his siblings. And he was tired of the fighting with his family's siblings. He didn't like to fight with them because of the way he grew up with his parents, and then it came on with his siblings, so he didn't like that. And he thought and he wanted financing. He wanted independence with his life, so he moved out early, I think. In a sense, he did think his siblings were kind of greedy and spoiled, and as a teenager, like a lot of kids do. And he wanted things to go well with them, All right, I'm gonna say about his work related. When he became famous, how did that go? How did it go with Johnny Depp and him, the money-wise? How's Johnny Depp and his money? I'm using article cards now. in the past and the present. Past and present, Johnny. Or in reverse, but alright, here we go. Long-term. He had a long-term goal that he wanted to make money in the past and become famous. It says an opportunity could turn you into a long career. So he wanted, when he was on 21 Jump Street, he wanted to do more than be TV. He wanted to be a movie star. He wanted to be on the silver screen and do other things. He wanted to make money, being on the screen after being, on the little screen on television. He wanted to be a blockbuster person. Like the first movie I saw, I think, was Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger movie, 1984. Yeah, he had a small role in that, but he was good in it. And then he did other movies. He wanted a good match. He wanted a good relationship with people and a relationship with. He wanted to find good work that his projects that would, like he did Charlie and the Chocolate thing of being Mr. Willy Wonka. He wanted to find opportunities to do all ranges of the character he could do. Spread his wing and do different characters, because you see him evolve and through the years of doing television into movies. So he wanted to revolve and do different characters, revolve. Give and take. He wanted to give and take. He likes to share his money with other people. He goes into hospitals and dress up as Pirates of the Caribbean. He wants to help other people. Be open to give and receive. Yeah, he wants to help other people. He likes to help children, if they're ill or something. He goes and visits them in the hospital. He likes to do charity work and help others. Yeah, he likes to help, and he gives to charity. Also, it says rewards. You are cashing in on the good work you've done, race bonus. Yeah, so he in the present, he's doing well with money, investments, and it's going to keep on growing. He's doing money. You may influence for change. So he's going to do something else, but besides being an actor. Maybe he'll be a person like Leonardo DiCaprio, speak for other people, because he was abused as a child. So he might talk to people about him being abused, and wants to change. So he's going to be a public speaker about maybe he was abused as a kid with his parents. So he's going to talk to people about children being abused and speaking up for them, and for adults being abused. So he'll be a spokesperson for abuse. And he's very courage person, even though he's soft-spoken. He's very courage, lion, courage. Ask what you are afraid of so you can overcome. He overcome that bad marriage that he had with let me look at her name, Amber Heard, and the trial. So he overcame that. She was abusive. She overcame. I'll ask that too. His relationship with her. Tell me about his relationship with her. I'm going to ask a couple cards. I'm going to ask different cards. I'm going to be doing these. How his relationship was with Amber Heard. Johnny Depp. Please tell me how your relationship with her. I'm doing only 3 cards. In the past, in the present. I'll do. Please tell me. All right. All right. In the past, they did party together, and he did feel isolated by her. She wanted to be the one in charge in the relationship, and she was very. He thought he was three in the crowd because she wanted all the attention, and he was in the back thing of the relationship. He thought she wanted all the attention, all the glory in the relationship, and he wanted some alone time. He likes to spend time alone, but she wanted to be the one in charge in the relationship. She wanted to go to the parties, and she said he thought she was a very heavy party person, and he had ideas of doing other things besides partying, and he's a free spirit. He likes to, even though he's quiet and shy, introverted, he's a free spirit. He likes to do other things than just party. He likes to help people, and he has limited potential. He wants to, do all range of things in his relationship with her. He wanted to maybe travel or help other people with her, or start a brand, like start a new career. Maybe they would have do charity work, or do clothesline for a man and his wife doing clothesline or something. He wanted to do other things, but do partying. He wanted to do more than party with her. He wanted other things because he's a very free spirit person. He wanted to, he didn't like to just party all the time. He wanted to do other things with her, and wishes come true. Wish came true that he met this woman. So, and he thought she was stable in the beginning of the relationship. And he was gratitude with the way things were in the beginning, and magic protection is out there. He thought he could protect her and wanted things to go well in this relationship. He wanted to protect her and take care of her. He's a genius, and he was trying to be a genius in the relationship. And he liked to do poetry and write poetry to her, and he was creative. Maybe liked to cook for her and do stuff for her, he wanted new connections. He didn't like how things were going in the relationship, so he wanted to do other things, but be married to her. He wanted to do other things. He wanted to meet other people, not just her. He wanted to have a lot of friends and stuff. So he was trying to be positive. I'm going to go in a little deeper about the relationship. So the relationship, Johnny Depp, I'll ask one more time. How was his relationship with her? Was she abusive to him? I always go break entertainment purposes. Was Johnny Depp being abused by her? I'm just doing 3 cards. Yeah, please tell me. Two. I guess 2 of them came out. There was this is a painful ending. He thought she was very abusive and painful to him, and he didn't like the way she was treating him, like screaming at him, throwing things, being abusive. He was tired of it. He had deep wounds, and he felt betrayed by her. This person's hurt or dead, and he felt like he was dead inside because she betrayed him and was mean to him, and he felt lost. He felt a failure in this relationship. He was so tired of all the fighting and disagreements. He couldn't stand it anymore, and he felt defeated. Like, why are you always beating up on me? Why are you being abusive? So she was abusive to him, very. Sounds like she's a narcissistic. Yeah. And he was exhausted. He was tired of all the fighting and all the drama. And they probably called the police on each other. And he was so tired of the fighting. I don't blame you. Yeah, and it destroyed his confidence. He was trying to be confident. He wanted the relationship to work, but it didn't. He had personal goals other than the relationship. He wanted to start over in the marriage. He wanted to leave the marriage and do other goals. Maybe, like I said, he wants to help people who've been abused and stuff in his childhood and in his marriage. Maybe he'll be a spokesperson about that. And he had lack of planning on how to get out of this marriage. He had lack of planning, like, how am I going to get out of this marriage? He wants to play safe. Maybe he went to a hotel or something and left the house and said, I can't stand this anymore. So he left the house to go to a hotel or a friend's house, a family member house, and left. He left her. Dreams, the world is the beginning. He was tired of it. He wanted a new beginning, and after the relationship was over, he wanted to start over and recover from the bad relationship, the short marriage that they had. It was less than 3 years because she was, and it was surrendering now that he knows he can recover and take care of himself and make things better. So I'm going to ask, did he think she was a narcissistic? Did Johnny Depp think she was very much of a narc? Did he think his ex-wife was a narc? Did Johnny Depp think his ex-wife was a narcissistic? You know, with the mood swings, tantrums, screaming, throwing things. Please tell me, did he think she was a narcissistic? The time when they were married, and were the red flags? He thought he thought she was domineering and was controlling, and she thought it was her way or the highway, and thought she was rigid and like wanted things her way, and she was very stubborn. Things didn't go her way, she would throw a fit and throw things and swear at him or hurt him. So yeah, I think he did, and he was reckless because he's not a type of person, like, he would say calm down, but he's not a pushover. Johnny Depp's not a pushover. Even though he's soft, I constantly say he's soft-spoken. You see that in interviews. He still doesn't take crap from people, even though you're soft-spoken. You know, he is not a pushover. He says, stop it. He wanted the relationship work, but it wasn't, and he thought she was very stubborn and only cared about herself. He thought she was negative, and he tried to have forgiveness with her because he didn't want to always have fight with her. He was negative. And also, he was trying to be optimist about during the relationship and after that they could be friends and just leave parts and move on. He wanted things to go over. There was very disharmony in the relationship. You know, this is reversed. He just wanted to move on, because he was tired of the conflict, and then it came out, you know, people saying that he abused her, and he was tired of that, the group conflict, like people would taking her side and the fighting, you know, in the courts and everything. He was tired of it, and he wanted to trust people, his lawyers, to find the truth, to come out on that. About his past relationship with her. So yeah, I think he does fear she's a narcissistic person, even though these cards are reversed, because it says she was domineering and, you know, controlling. All right, I'm gonna ask, is what's going on in the future of his is he going to continue with acting? Someone asked me that. So that's a good question. Is he going to continue with acting, or is he going to, like I said, in the other ones, he wants to be a spokesperson for abused children and adults in past relationships, you know, because he was through the ringer with his parents and his ex-wife, you know. Is he going to, you know, do that, or is he going to go back to acting? I'm doing 3 here because 2 cards after this. This 2. These are hard. These articles are hard to shuffle, so I have to do it this way. Please tell me, Johnny Depp, are you going to continue with acting, or are you going to do something else? All right. Oh, they say he has he gets along with some people, and he has skills. He wants to maybe he'll be a counselor, like he with, like I said, with helping people with family members who've been abused. Maybe he'll be a spokesperson, write a book, or go on television or something and talk about it. Or he might do do like a movie where he is a salesperson selling something, or commercials where he sells stuff. Like, I don't know if he can sell alcohol, but anyway, he's gonna do he might do commercials selling something. He might do that. He's going to get a new job. Maybe he'll, like I do, when people get older, they can't be actors anymore in the movies. So he might get a new job doing commercials. It's a good time to start a new job, a whole new career. Maybe you do a lot of more commercials or advertisements or something. Like I said, spokesperson. He'll do a lot of more advertisements on television. Or when you go to the movies, you'll see Johnny Depp there, or yeah. He'll do commercials, to say, or he might retire. I think eventually he's going to retire because he's getting up there. He has all the money, so he might time to say goodbye for now. He might take some time off to go on a break after he makes some commercials and take time off to relax because of the past, and he wants to take some time off. He's a millionaire, so he has the money to take. So he might take some time off to just recover. So it says sometime it's about to end for now, saying goodbye. He might want to take he's going to be helped. He probably goes to a therapist because of his help. It says the universe sending you help, tap into your inner power. So he wants help because he's been through the ringer with her and his past abuse. People abused him. So I think he goes to therapy, so he needs help. So he's going to ask for help. He goes to therapy. I think he's going to goes to a shrink or a therapist or social worker, talk about his problems because he was abused. And he wants to be left alone. He wants to be left alone. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight as much anymore. I think, like it says, he wants to eventually take time off, or he wants to say goodbye and retire. And he wants to be left alone and do his own thing, like take vacations. And, he wants to be left alone. So it says he's going to, he wants to do some other things besides always movies. He might do commercials, and he wants to be... And he might say goodbye. He might retire and take time off, or just retire because he has the money and he's in his early 60s. I think he's in his 60s, and he wants to be left alone. And he wants to. Yeah, universe is sending him help. I think he needs help because of the abuse he had growing up and his past relationships. So he's going to go to therapy. So he's going to get help, go into therapy. He wants to. Like I said, he might want to say goodbye to be on the movies and take time off, and he wants to be left alone from from the public. So he wants to leave. So he might leave. So, like I said, this is just a reading about Johnny Depp, and you take it from the greater salt, and this is entertainment purposes. To my next reading, I'll do probably an upcoming one in the future about Johnny Depp. I always like to do like a top 2 of other people, of the celebrity, if I like them. So I'll do a reading in the future of Johnny Depp and what's going on with his life. So to my next video on tarot cards or other subjects, take care and have a good day. Bye.